Hello, my name is Craig Knutson, and I am the compliance analyst with the Capital Magnet Fund. And this video today will show you the workaround for the recent annual report issues that many recipients have been encountering. And what I'll do next is bring up the four most common errors. And we do apologize for the length of the error messages. The crust of the error message is embedded in the middle on the first two, which are the most common errors. The first one, when a project is complete, the CMF unit should be equal to the total eligible units. That's one of the common errors. The second one is when project status is completed, the $CMF award at location should equal the disbursement to date. And it signifies where you can find those fields. You're probably going to do most of your edits on the project annual report or the project location report, and sometimes on the project record itself. The third common error we're seeing is the one in red. Eligible project cost by source should equal eligible project cost by family income category. Some of you might have seen that recently. There is a little glitch in AMOS that we're working on that is not totaling up those fields, thus giving you an error message. If you are encountering this error, please submit a service request, as we will assign those requests to IT to get those resolved. And the fourth one is somewhat similar. Total project cost in year value must equal total dollars expended. I'll go through that example also at the end, but if you have trouble figuring that one out, or it doesn't look like it's tallying up the fields, like I said, just submit a service request and we will get that taken care of. And I just want to give a brief outline before I start. Is the reason that these errors are popping up that you're seeing is IT recently updated the validation rules in AMOS. These validations were not in effect prior to this update, so most recipients are experiencing issues when creating or cloning annual reports. And these are most prevalent when it comes to a project status that is showing placed in service or complete. This has become a cascading issue that needed some type of fix so that recipients could gain access to a cloned annual report and make edits. So obviously they could submit their performance reports and scorecards on time. So I think this might be a good workaround here, but we will see. The best workaround to this was for IT to allow the creation of a cloned annual report, but to null out the project status. And by doing this, you would be able to click the Create New Annual Report tab, but before you can save it, you must fix the errors that pop up. And the errors that I mentioned are the ones we just went over, the four common errors. Once those errors are edited, you should be able to save the report and everything should be back to normal. And like I said, I'll walk through the two examples, the two most common errors on this test case in front of me. But I just want to let you know, keep in mind that this workaround should work for most error messages, as the concept is basically the same. And like I said, the concept is now there is an annual report. Once you click Create Annual Report, there will be one created, but you need to fix the errors within. And AMOS is just wanting these fields to match up, where before AMOS was not looking at this. So we need to get all this fixed. Obviously, AMOS didn't care before, like I said, but now the numbers have to match up because recipients are nearing project completion status possibly, or when awards are closed out. We just want to make sure everything is lined up where they should be. Okay, I will begin with this test project. And what I will do is, as I mentioned, this is a test project 01150. So you would go to your project that you're having issues with. You would click create new annual report, which is the old way of cloning. But as you'll see, this is a little different. So click Create Annual Report. And some error messages should pop up. And let's see, the first right here is, you see the project status at fiscal year end is none, like I mentioned. This is the workaround, so this is the null and the none they're putting in here. If you click on any project status, let's just say placed in service, you know what, before it was partially complete, so I'm just going to go back to partially complete. Like I said, it doesn't really matter, you're going to get the same results. Try to click Save. And let's see, and it's telling you right here that when you have certain dates placed into Amos, that certain fields need to be changed. And this is telling you that rental housing record status must be complete or placed in service if project completion date is set. And in this example here, we see that a project completion date was established. So it wants to see this as placed in service. We hit placed in service, and now the validation rules are kicking in. These are the 4 common errors that I listed before that we went over. And this one right here is stating that CMF dollars at location must equal the disbursements to date. So what we do then is cancel out of this. And we want to go to see where those fields are matching up or are not matching up in this case. We would go to the project location record, which is in the related tab here. And then go under project location record, which is right here. And you can see CMF dollar award at location is $230,822.39. And I'm going to assume that that is not matching the disbursement amount on the project record. And you would find that information. You would scroll down to use of CMF award. And in this section right here, disbursement to date CMF plus program income is $130,822.39. So the other one is $230,822.39. This is $130. So they're not matching up, hence the error that you are getting. To correct this, let's assume that this is correct and the project location information is not correct. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to the project location record. And I'm going to change this. And one thing I do want to mention, a lot of recipients, I don't think it works, but if you click edit up here, this is not how you edit records. I know it looks like it would be, but to edit data on any of these pages, you would click the edit pencil, and that's how it would change. So clicking the edit pencil here to make it match what was on the disbursement screen that we just looked at. We want 130,822.39 to match. Now we're going to save, and this one should be fine. Okay, and now what we're going to do is go back to the project status, and then we're going to try to change that again and see what happens. So project status, you would change that in the annual report. So as we were going through here, it did create the annual report for 2023. You would click on the annual report. Now you would try to click on placed in service again. And we click save. Now we want to see what happens. Okay, now here is the second error message, most common error messages, and this is one I had on my screen before. This is the one where, let's see, where the CMF units are not equaling the total eligible units. So where we go to find this then, we would cancel out of here. We would go back to the project record. We would go to the location record again. And the fields that error is looking for are the number of CMF units at location is 220. Now we want to check on the project record. And then we want to scroll down to rental completed units. Getting close, and right here. Rental number of units complete. The total eligible units here is 223. So this is not matching the location units of 220. So let's assume that this is correct by the information you put up here, breaking down the units by income category. 223 would be correct, so we are going to go back to the project location. And we are going to change this number of CMF units to match what was on the project page, which is correct, we'll assume, of 223. We'll hit save. And it looks like that error has been fixed. So now what we want to do is go back to the annual report. So basically this test record I'm going through had two of the errors I wanted to go through. Instead of using two different test records and logging into a different test recipient, I wanted one that had both errors. So this record, this project had both errors involved. So we're going to go back to the annual report that was created for 2023. Once again, we're going to try to input our project status. It will not let you input the status, and it won't save it to something unless all of your errors have been fixed. So we're going to go back. I'm going to click place in service again. Save. And now everything is fine. It accepted that, so all the errors in this project have been fixed. Your annual report is created, and you should be good to proceed from here. I want to quickly go over the other two error messages. And give me a second. Okay, and the third error message stated that EPCs by source must equal the EPCs by family income category. And I just want to show you where that would be. Most of you are probably familiar with it, but just in case not, I just want to take a little extra time to show you where those are. And you'd be looking for this field right here, eligible project cost, EPCs by source. And it's looking right here. The total eligible cost, eligible project cost right here of $70,563, 557.65. That amount there should equal the field below that, EPCs by income category. And these two fields right here, or sorry, these three fields right here, if you add these fields up, which unfortunately Amos is not going to add, you might have to add these by yourself because it's non-eligible family is included in here also. But these two fields right here, there's nothing in other eligible, equal this right here, the 70,563, 557.65. So these fields up here must equal these fields below in income category. And that's where that error message pops up if those are not matching. And the final error I want to go through is if the total project cost in year doesn't equal the total dollars expended. And in this case here, you're going to stick with the same categories, the same fields under eligible project cost by source. And you will see that total project cost, let's see, total project cost of $70,879,986.16. The error message would pop up if this number did not match the total dollars expended. And you would match that up also under EPC by income category. And you're going to match that up to make sure it matches with this field here, total dollars expended. And as you can see, these two fields match, so you would not get that error on this project, but I just wanted to show you in case that's what you're experiencing. So once again, I hope this is helpful. If you do run into errors, if you have more questions, please submit a service request. Do not email. Submit a service request. You can assign that to the CMF compliance department, and it will come to one of us, and we can help you out. So I hope this was helpful, and have a great day. Bye now.